Enjoy this 2019 video of Joe Biden filing to run for president in New Hampshire, because this iconic photo op may not happen in 2023. If New Hampshire leaders follow through on their promise to again leapfrog every other state to hold the nation's first primary,
we're just doing it the same way we've always done it.
Sorry, when New Hampshire leaders follow through on their promise to leapfrog every other state, the president might just leapfrog New Hampshire. He's pledged only to participate in primaries sanctioned by his national party, and New Hampshire is breaking the party's new rules. The Secretary of State here says he hasn't heard a peep yet about the president filing paperwork to get on the ballot.
There is a real concern amongst Democrats that if the president doesn't show up and file for the First of the Nation presidential primary, we've got to make sure that we do our part and write the president in.
A write-in campaign for the incumbent president of the United States. Matt Wilhelm is New Hampshire's House Democratic leader and one of the orchestrators of the old-school, grassroots-style, door-knocking campaign coming together. You know, just in case it looks like a Democratic long shot like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. or Marianne Williamson might top a Biden-less ballot here.
All the Republican candidates are here, and so, you know, they'll have a story coming out of New Hampshire. It's important for the Democrats to as well.
The last time a presidential incumbent snubbed New Hampshire, 1968. Lyndon B. Johnson suggested there shouldn't even be a primary. He didn't file here, and as a write-in candidate, he barely beat an upstart challenger, Eugene McCarthy. Johnson's momentum was derailed. It prompted a guy by the name of Robert F. Kennedy to enter the race, and within weeks, as Johnson flailed and anti-war sentiment grew, the incumbent dropped out of the race. But there are other campaigns also courting New Hampshire Democrats with unusual pitches. And of course, each person only gets one vote. The goal of this campaign, convince Democrats just this once to vote in the Republican primary to try and stop Donald Trump's momentum.
If he only gets low 30s or high 20s and some of the competitors get close to him, all of a sudden people are going to start talking about how it's a competitive primary, not a coronation for Trump.
New Hampshire is one of 29 states where registered voters who aren't members of a specific party can pick any primary on Election Day. And the new Primary Pivot PAC is encouraging Democrats to switch their affiliations to undeclared.
Many of these people do not like the former president, and this is a way to channel that and actually make a difference.
Chris Christie's PAC also just started sending out mailers to Democrats pushing the same strategy. They're a bit late to the game in New Hampshire with an October 6th deadline here for voters to switch parties. But then Primary Pivot says they'll pivot to courting independents. In New Hampshire, exit polls have found nearly half the vote in contested primaries comes from undeclared voters.
So you're a lifelong Democrat, willing to vote Republican this time around for anyone but Trump.
Speaks volumes, huh?
Noah is joining us now live from Manchester, New Hampshire. So Noah, talk through next steps then in this essentially showdown, right, between the DNC and the state.
So the DNC will meet on Friday. It is expected to address this showdown. They may assert penalties at that point on New Hampshire, or they could do what they've done for pretty much the last year, which is just continue to kick the can down the road. But they cannot kick it too much further. Filing opens up on October 11th, next Wednesday here in New Hampshire, and it's only open 17 days. So all eyes shift to Biden. He would have 17 days to get himself to Concord and file those papers. Now, the Secretary of State here says those are our dates. We're sticking to them, and we're holding the first primary. He's confident in New Hampshire's efficiency. He says we do it the best, and there will be results on election night next spring, he says, whenever they hold an election, and no matter how many write-in votes they have to count. Allie?
Noah Pransky live for us there in New Hampshire. Noah, thank you very much.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.